Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Baseball Card Junkies podcast. It's only going to be a dynamic duo this week. Our third wheel is attending to extracurricular activities that are more on the personal side. So hopefully he does stop in at some point. But yeah. So how was your week, Mike?
Uh, I don't know. It was another week. It was another week. Saw a lot of newer product opening up. Allen and Ginter, which I really like. Saw some of that opened up. I got into a case break. I got the Phillies for like $41 and made it back on the first pack, first card the guy opened, and it was Bryce Harper in action. I was like, I'm set. There we go.
Okay.
And then it kind of cooled off after that, but
Yeah.
I got the base, which I'm happy with.
Okay. Well, we got Larkin that just jumped into the chat. How's it going,
Yep.
Larkin?
Should pull this up on YouTube so I can actually comment.
Yeah.
It might actually be a good thing to do. So it's probably going to explode with volume when I go on there.
We'll just take a moment of silence while you pull it up.
That's all right. That's all right. Not a problem. So why are you not in my search list? Oh, there you are. There we go. And it's still saying upcoming.
Interesting.
Did you turn it on? Oh, I got a commercial. I guess that's good.
Yeah, it'll work.
Here.
What's up, Nikki? How's it going? So yeah, we did so real quick before we get into the nitty-gritty of everything, just wanted to let everybody know about this month's PSA specials.
Okay.
So for the month of November, they've got a couple going on, and I don't want to be greedy. Let me go ahead and share this with everybody. All right, so we got a 50s to 70s grading special at $16.99 per card.
I like that.
With a declared value of $400 or less. Okay, estimated turnaround time is about 50 business days, give or take. All right, it's a 10-card minimum. Only cards from 1950 to 1979 are eligible. But now I'm concerned. This is gonna end on the 15th of November. Will they extend it? Will they replace it with something else? I mean,
2-week window. That's kind of a quick window right there.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm not going to really get into details with this, but you got your Bandai TCG grading special, your Funko Pop trade grading special, $31.99, express service, $100 a card, 5 business day turnaround, declared value $2,500 or less, and then your entertainment ticket grading special at $25 a ticket, and that's pretty much it.
So what did they do with that entertainment trading ticket grading special? What is that? You send them a ticket and they grade it?
Yep. Either a movie ticket, a film, or a concert.
Huh. I got all my concert tickets just in a rubber band. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
know if I get a concert ticket graded.
Now, if it was a baseball game ticket, I could see that, like a World Series,
ticket, yeah,
a ticket of a significant event, like when Hank Aaron broke the Babe Ruth record.
Yeah,
that I could see.
Yeah,
but as far as a Hootie and the Blowfish reunion concert, no, not so much.
Yeah, I doubt it, Nikki. I don't think it's going to be big enough for a grading company to go there. I mean, it's Warminster, PA. I could see if it was at Oaks, the convention center, or something like that, definitely, or someplace in Philly, definitely. But they would have to pay for that and I don't think that they would pay that kind of money to get a grading service there. It would be
Now,
nice.
I know I've seen a lot of smaller card shows, if you will. JSA, they do not discriminate, and that's what I like about them.
Okay.
You know, you could have a venue of 10 to 15 tables, and JSA will take advantage of it. You got some
Oh,
stuff that you want authenticated, bring it in.
there you go. So that's more just like on autographs and stuff like that. It's not
Yes.
grading cards. Okay. All right.
So, but now there's really nothing to talk about as far as upcoming releases, with the exception of Stadium Club, and you know, we've already covered that in depth. We're just waiting for the actual release to see how that product actually pans out, which I don't think we're gonna have an issue with.
No, and that release is Wednesday the 6th.
Yeah, but Allen and Ginter. Well, no, I'm sorry. The only upcoming release baseball related coming up is Chrome Update. So I'm curious to see what type of shenanigans Topps is gonna do as far as inserts are gonna be concerned.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so but yeah, and that's gonna be something that we'll be touching up on, Larkin, later on, probably either next week or the week after. With all these pieces moving around throughout the league, you know, how will that affect the hobby as a whole?
That's right, Larkin. Look at that. I didn't even think about archives. I haven't seen any. Archives is usually out about now. Right about now.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any word on that.
Yep. So I mean, whoever's coming up with these calendar releases, they need to get hot. Something. So recently, right now, the flavor of the month is Allen and Ginter. Okay, I mean, there's really no changes on its formatting, with the exception of just different people and some new inserts that's been incorporated into it. You know, so what do you think about it, Mike? Because you actually got into a break with it.
Yeah, I did get into a break. I got into case break, so I watched some guy open up an entire case with like zero personality, and yeah, it was boring. But I still got my Phillies for like $41 for the entire case, and it's like, okay, so it's the cost of pretty much 2 blasters, and I can, you know, hopefully get a couple of hits out of there, which I got a couple of hits, which I was happy about.
Okay.
But as far as the inserts this year, they're not knocking my socks off like, you know, the last few years.
Right.
I think that, you know, the X-rays, I know that Infuego has said that he's not a fan of them. I don't mind them. I think they're pretty cool. I think there's too many of them. I think there's probably like, I think 4 or 6 per box, which is just a little bit too much. And they have the like the dog show and stuff like that. But I was kind of more intrigued in the past few years, like, you know, like tallest buildings and, you know, where they're from and minerals and all that kind of stuff that you don't really look at every day.
Right.
It seems like it's more like everyday kind of things. But as far as, you know, I watched the case being opened. And if you're looking to make money off of Allen and Ginter, you're probably not, unless you hit one of those, unless you hit like a Chuck Norris autograph or something like that. This is not where baseball cards are going to be the top sellers or the.
It's not the focal point.
It's not the focal point. It's everything else that's in there. Baseball is such like, okay, well, we're going to make it for baseball, but, you know, 30-40% of the box is going to be dedicated to these other things. So what was the autograph that you pulled? You pulled a.
So I was in and I was on Card Deal's live stream last night, picked up a hobby box, and he pulled a Caleb Williams mini autographed framed card out of 50. And I don't know who Caleb Williams is because I haven't followed football in years. But I know when stuff like that gets pulled in live streams, everybody who's actually in the chats, they're quick to jump on the eBay and see what the comps are, what they last sold for. And from what a lot of people were saying yesterday, just the base auto of that card actually came around $400.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't understand it because you kind of touched on it a little bit. We're talking about a baseball product, but we've got stuff that are non-baseball related fetching more than actual baseball itself.
And that's what Allen and Ginter is. I remember when I got back into the hobby in 2020 and I just opened up a blaster of it. And I was like, what is this? I had no idea. So I was like, you do your research on it and stuff like that. And they've been doing this for for years now. And it basically goes back to the old 1890 cigarette packs and stuff like that, where they would, put on all these different kind of things. So I think it's really interesting. It's a fun rip. Like I said, I don't know how produced it is or overproduced it is, but in that case, there were, out of 12 boxes, I think there were only 4 autographs pulled, and the rest were relics. The rip cards, don't rip your rip cards. Just don't. If it's got a player on there that you like and it's a numbered card, I think it's going to be more collectible than opening it up and getting just the chance of getting something that's in there. Because all I've seen is the short print minis that come out of there. So I would just hold on to it.
So what you're saying is, if I was to pull a J-Rod rip card, and I actually do rip it, and I pull a Otto Lopez, I just downgraded.
Oh, you completely downgraded. Yeah, if it's a player you like, because what was it? I think it was Arnie last night. They had pulled a Trey Turner, a rip card, and he opened it, and I was like, oh my god, I would give you like $30 just for that card, and just hold on to it and not rip it. So I think it's the thing about that, it's already like a lottery ticket getting the entire hobby, getting the box, right? And then you pull a rip card, so now you're double downing on your lottery ticket. So I saw somebody open up an unnumbered Andrew McCutchen and was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. If you're a McCutchen collector or a Pirates fan, you'd probably want it, but most people would be like, oh, let's rip it and see what's inside it. But yeah.
So do you think that since you basically compare it to a lottery ticket, do you think the chances of you hitting the lottery would increase with now the double-sided rip card?
No, because I've seen them open too, and they're just about the same odds.
They're about the same? Okay.
Yeah, it's about 95% you're going to get like a base card in there. So,
because they do give you a breakdown of what you could potentially pull out of those rip cards.
Right.
And
but they don't give you the odds.
They don't give you the odds.
They don't give you the odds.
So yeah, so I guess going forward, if I pull a rip card of Vladdy Jr. or whatnot, I will just leave it unripped.
Exactly. Okay. Oh, we got some people coming in. We got Nate, we got Lucky Peter, we got Maddie, Collector's Dream, Orlando. How you doing?
How's everybody doing this evening? Glad y'all can come on in and hang out with us. But yeah, so I even got to see the hot box pulled, and man, it's called the hot box for a reason.
Yeah.
It was like one hit every 2 packs.
Wow.
And I'm just like, man,
yeah,
this is insane.
Yeah, that's why you get the case. That's why you get into a case break, because you're guaranteed a hot box. And if your team can get very lucky there.
Yeah, definitely. But I know the next one coming down the pipe is going to be Stadium Club. Well, I do know that it was this past Wednesday. Topps did a pre-order for Topps Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's going to be the next thing down in the chute. And I know Larkin mentioned the release date for it. I believe he said it was like the 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks out.
Yeah. So, I mean, any expectations on Holiday for you? Because I know you love Holiday.
I like Holiday. I like it because it's inexpensive. It's inexpensive. You're going to get your 5 metallics. You're going to get 2 short prints, and you're going to get some kind of a hit, mostly a relic.
Yeah.
But I've seen a Santa Claus autograph come out of there
Mhm.
one break, and like the guy that broke it didn't know what to do with it,
Yeah.
and everybody in the chat just random.
That's
you
it.
know. So yeah. So yeah, Topps Advent Calendar. Yep.
Now I did notice with this year's product, they're actually including inserts.
Yeah.
You know, something about elves and naughty list and good boy list. And
I don't know what they're going to be like. Is it going to be like Update where they have the Halloween prints, or Series 1 where they have the spring prints? Is it going to be something like that? I think it might be. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it. But yeah, they did bump the price up. I saw it at $39 for the for the mega box, but they are adding more to it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, even at that price, if they're throwing more inserts, numbered cards and stuff like that, because I think there were only 2 numbered cards in there. There was the red and the gold.
Yeah.
They were the only parallels in there that were numbered. So if they're going to start throwing more inserts in, well, why not? They throw inserts into everything else, you know.
I agree, Larkin. 33% is a big increase.
It is a big increase, but we'll see what it's like.
They did add the tins as well, Nate, and also they do have the advent calendars too.
Yeah, I think the tins are 6 tins for $120 or something like that. I think there's 59 cards in there with exclusive parallels to that. I think there's blue and Christmas trees or something like that in there.
Yeah, so we'll see how that one works out. I mean, I think the only fun part of actually ripping the holiday is trying to determine which one is or is not that short print.
It's rough. I remember 2 years ago. It wasn't last year, but the year before, it was you would look for the 5th card. The 5th card would be the short print, you know, and you would go through the packs, and at least you had a heads up. Last year, I mean, the short prints were some of them were so minute that you couldn't even tell, what they were. Yeah, Bandit Candy Cane Bats. I think there was one candy cane bat that it was like three quarters of the bat was off. You didn't even see it. You saw like a quarter of the bat, and that was a short print. We're like, we couldn't find it.
Yeah. So that. Hopefully, that is a fun rip when it comes out. So I'm looking forward to it.
What's up, Magnus?
But right after that, you've got Chrome update, and then Stadium Club.
Stadium Club, yeah.
Any expectations?
At the price point that I bought it at, yeah, I've got expectations. I just happened to be home on a Friday, and at 12 o'clock, and it was just right before 12 o'clock, I clicked on Topps, and they put it up there, and I got my boxes after shipping for about $150 a piece. The next day I went on Dave and Adams, looked at that, and they were $189 a box.
Jeez.
So yeah, I've got 3 boxes coming, which I'm going to do a break on, and I'm not going to do it random this time because just the way that it falls out with Stadium Club, it's pretty easy to do a pick your team at a certain price. We'll do it auction style that way, because there's a lot of teams that have a lot of good rookies in there, because it's basically Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3. All the players are in there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm glad we're not opening it in January. We're actually opening it in November.
Yeah, definitely.
Waiting to see and waiting to see what the blasters look like, because last year the blasters, if it stays true to last year, you can get 8 blasters right now for the price of a hobby box, which I think is a better deal. Because hobby box, you're guaranteed 2 autographs and X amount of parallels and something like that. But it went up to 199 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So blasters may be the way to go, but since I got it at such a good price, I'm happy with the price that I got it at. I lucked into it.
You definitely lucked out. Hopefully that luck carries over for when Platinum Anniversary carries.
Oh man, I'm looking at
yeah.
You know what? Platinum Anniversary, I'm telling you, next year, just buy a case of blasters and hold on to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless they totally screw it up, which they have a potential to do.
Yeah, definitely. The compact box for Stadium Club, that's a new one also. It's also kind of pricey because I'm on David Adams right now. They're asking $85 for it.
And that probably just has 1 auto. Now, did they do that last year? Did they do a compact? Because I think they started it with Archives last year. They did a compact box of Archives.
Stadium Compact actually debuted last year.
Last year. So it was Archives, then Stadium Club, but they didn't do it with anything else, I don't believe. Any of the flagship or anything like that.
So for the compact, it's 1 auto per box, 1 chrome refractor parallel. They do have image and design variations. And this is also a 300 card base set.
Yeah. Peter, that is the way to go. I just absolutely lucked in the Stadium Club when I got there. I didn't even, usually I'm working at 12 o'clock on, whatever day they release it. I just happen to have that Friday off and lucked into being on the site at the same time. It seems that once it sells through on the site, your distributors get it, and they're not going to put it at that tops price. They're not. They're going to jack it up. And once the distributors sell through their first run, they probably they just say they have 100 cases. They'll put 50 cases up first to sell the 50 cases, right? At 189 or 199, whatever. Sell through that. The next one's going to come out. It's going to be 229. They'll throw out, like 20 cases, and then they'll jump it up to 249. They'll throw out 15 cases, and they have 15 cases remaining. They charge whatever they want. It seems that things have changed with Topps and their distribution, where back in 2020, 2021, it was like they would come out at what at the time we thought were, $79 for a hobby box. Like, oh my God, you're kidding me. But then the prices would start to come down. We're not seeing that now. So it's either through Topps or if you can get it through Fanatics. But the secondary market, they're making their money right now.
Now, do you think, because I know back in 2020, breaking was a thing, but it's nowhere near then as it was now.
No.
Do you think the breakers community plays an impact on that?
I think they do, because they already have products sold. They can look at it this way. It's like, okay, we're going to produce X amount of cards. We know that 20% are going to go to breakers. 50% are going to go to the other distributors, and 30% we're going to sell the first day. And the percentages may be completely wrong, but now they know that they have a market that they're initially going to sell to, which is the breakers.
It's insane. Sometimes I tend to wonder if the hobby now is going to be breaker driven.
It is. No, it definitely is. Yeah, it's going to be breakers driven. I wish it was more suited to the high end product, because the high end, first of all, I'm not going to buy a hobby box of anything that's over $150 for myself.
Right.
Or a jumbo box or anything like that for myself. I'll buy into a break, something like that. But when it comes down to like your flagship, like they said they were going to 10x it for the collector, they're not 10xing it for the collector, because they would keep the hobby boxes at a reasonable price. You know, I feel a reasonable price for a hobby box is $89 for any flagship product, because you're not guaranteed an autograph, you're guaranteed a hit and one silver pack in there. So that at least that would keep the collectors involved in it. But it just seems like they're breakers and wannabe breakers, and you know, all these YouTube channels that are popping up where they're doing can we make our money back on this case, on this box, and you know, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not like everybody who is in the hobby knows about breaking.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you've got individuals out there that has been collecting probably before you and I were born. You know,
well, maybe not before me.
Well, you was probably in diapers. Okay, and they it's like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know, they have a method to how they get all their stuff or whatnot. But then when they see all these prices getting jacked up, to include stuff that they really don't even sell anymore, you know, like I know you've got some hardcore vintage collectors, you know, and you're not going to find that in a break, but it's hard to come by.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're in an area where not many people just coordinate for pop-up card shows. You know, so I mean, it's just I think Topps, well, I think Fanatics, because they own Topps, they need to seriously relook at their slogan of 10x in the hobby for the collector, and really think, is it really for the collector, or we're just trying to get them more involved?
Exactly.
You know,
so Walken just posted Stadium Club hobbies are on Fanatics now for $150. So yeah, that's a good price.
It is. And it's like, you know, when you go through the actual I guess you want to call it the manufacturer, if you will, you'll get the best price. You know, but if you go to like a Dave and Adams, a Blowout, Steel City, Card Giants, Hello Kitty's collectibles, you're gonna pay that extra because everybody's got to make their profit somehow, some way.
Yeah.
You know, so.
What's up, Ray? What's up, Uncle Ted?
Yeah, we got a couple of new people in the chat. We got Uncle Ted that showed up. Jenny Jones, she came in already, starting to drop everybody's channel link. So as always, we appreciate you, Jenny. And Electrifying Hit, I know I've seen you a few times, but I think this is the first time I seen you in the podcast. So I gave you a wrench, you know, so appreciate everybody's coming in and hanging out. But yeah, so after update, there's nothing else being released for 2024 baseball.
Yeah, that's something, isn't it?
Which kind of sucks. I mean, they still have and we didn't really talk about it that much, the 2024 Panini Impeccable Baseball, you know, and I'm going to show y'all as to why we're not talking about it.
Wow.
Okay, so I mean, you got 5 autographs per box. Okay, sounds good until you look at the breakdown. It's only one pack with 9 cards in it.
Yikes.
You know, so I mean, it looked, just going through. Okay, again, and I think we can agree, Panini has the edge over Topps when it comes to card designs. Okay, I got that. But the fact of the matter is, what's killing them is the licensing and
no logos. Yeah.
Just overall licensing. It that was 50% of what attracts collectors to Panini.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, these look great. This kind of resembles the Color Blast. You know, then you got your rated prospect silver, I guess manufactured relics, if you will.
Mhm.
And you got your Hall of Fame manufactured relics. Selling points, huh? And this is the debut of the card too. And 3 boxes per case, so you're basically spending about $1,000 plus for 3 packs.
Yeah, $1,500 for 3 packs. Yikes.
Yeah, so no,
Yeah.
I'll pass.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've
so you
always
look.
liked Panini for their designs, their parallels.
Uh-huh.
Chronicles is always fun. It was
Right.
always I loved Chronicles, and Optic were right up there. They were like my number one, number two. But then you
Mm-hmm.
got into Prism, where every card was exactly the same. They would change the color on the cards for the parallels and stuff like that. Mosaic was nice. I like Mosaic with their inserts. But yeah, Panini is a pass.
It is. It's like Panini is slowly dwindling away, but I am noticing Leaf is starting to come out swinging too.
Leaf has some
They're in
nice
the same
product.
boat as Panini. They don't have licensing,
Right. Right. Yeah.
you
But
know.
with
So,
Leaf, if you get a patch, you're talking like a chunky patch. You're talking like
mhm.
a letter with a jersey on it, with
Yes,
jersey. So yeah. I mean, if you're into that, that's fine. But Leaf product does sell really quick. You don't see it too long,
right.
So somebody's buying it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, after Panini Impeccables, there is nothing else coming out for the remainder of the year.
Hmm.
So that's gonna kind of suck. I mean, we do know that there's some products that traditionally have came out around a certain time, but no announcements have been made about it, like Bowman Draft. Um, what's another one that normally comes out?
Well,
Uh,
you have Bowman Draft, you have Bowman First,
mhm.
that are usually in January. They kind of kick off the season, and then it really starts to get going with flagship with Series One, usually in February. But last year we had a few things that trickled through from the year before, so we didn't have Stadium Club until January last year, so that kind of kept us going a little bit. And Yeah, so that kind of carried us through January a little bit.
Uh, with update, I mean, it's good to see the rest of the forgotten rookies come out like Skeens. I personally have not ripped any flagship this year at all. So I mean, and plus I don't collect Skeens anyway. So, but there's a couple of other things that haven't surfaced yet, like Lawkins mentioning Heritage High Number.
Yeah, that hasn't. There's no date on that either.
Uh,
That should have been out around within the next few weeks.
Chrome Sapphire update. That's another one that we haven't heard about. So I mean, I really don't know what is going on. I do a lot of car shows, and there is no reason collector anymore. They just want to get it cheap and flip. Unfortunately, that is the harsh reality of it. They're
Hmm.
cardboard degenerate, and it's a sad. It's sad, really, because it's like I cannot jump on YouTube, for example, and not see a video posted on my feed saying I spent $20,000 at the Dallas Card Show. You know why? Who
Hmm.
cares about that?
What's up, SP Hobby? Thanks for joining us
SP
tonight.
Hobby, how you doing?
I think, and I didn't give a shout out to Chuck. How you doing, Chuck?
Yep, Chuck, White Sox Tom,
Joe
Nate, how y'all
Mansman.
doing?
Yeah, got a lot of people coming in. Thank you all
Yep.
so much. Appreciate it.
Sean came in finally. Prospects a dozen, yeah.
Hmm.
And that's what I'm looking forward to for next year also, when we get together on this platform. Who's gonna be those rookies in flagship next year?
Don't know yet. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be, we're going to have some dead time in January. We can start figuring out who are going to be the top rookies.
Hey, boss man, how you doing?
What's up, boss man?
Not only with the rookies, who's going to be the flavor of the month as far as prospecting is concerned? Because some prospects everybody kept mentioning have actually stuck it out. Some, DOA.
Right.
I'm not going to mention Khalil Watson. Nobody really knows who that person is anymore. So,
No.
but we'll see how that works out. But now we're gonna go ahead and dive into collectability with the most recent World Series, and I cringe just thinking about it because the Yankees completely threw that series out the window. Okay. But some players that actually stuck out throughout the entire series, and even before that I believe did get a nice little spike in their collectability, regardless if it's going to be short term or long term. It's always good to see that different names are getting the recognition or employee of the month, if you will. Until the next season comes around, then they'll slowly come back down to reality. So, like, some of the names, obviously everybody's aware. We got Freddie Freeman. We've got Giancarlo Stanton. But then you also got a couple of players that did some miraculous things in the regular season. Even showed out a little bit during the division and championship series, but the World Series, they decided to leave their bats at home. And I'm talking about the two front runners for the MVP. What you think, Mike?
I agree with you on all of that. I think, Freddie had a great series. Stanton actually had a really good series. A lot of players were, what you expected. I mean, you're paying Soto, you're paying Betts to have good series, and they had good series. Ohtani, I think it might have been a little bit with that injury that he had in one of the games that kind of slowed him down a little bit.
Slight dislocation of the shoulder, yeah.
But Judge, I don't know if that was an AI figure of Aaron Judge or what. He seemed to be lost in the World Series.
Well, here's the thing though, too. When you put Ohtani and Judge, if you take their World Series stats and compare them, they both were batting 133 in the series.
Yeah, it's not good.
Not at all.
It was not good. It's you got your two headliners, and your two headliners, basically calling sick for the World Series.
Pretty much.
They pretty much weren't there, which gives other players a place to shine, but it's just like it's all the hype around these two players, but it takes a team to win. That's what it comes down to.
Okay, Nikki, you saying Judge stuck out more. How so?
Was it all because of the drop in the outfield and all the memes?
And I'm not and Nikki, I'm not targeting you to throw you under the bus or whatnot. I just want to I'm just trying to get the perspective of everybody.
Struck out more.
Yeah, he did strike out more.
Okay.
He was more of a chaser, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing that in the regular season, but it's like, oh, okay, I'm in the postseason. I could go ahead and swing for the fences. And look what it got you.
Yeah.
I mean, and who was it? Cardboard Degenerate. I think you meant that he won the MVP for the National League. I think Judge is going to win it for the American League.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the awards have nothing to do with the postseason, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently, but yeah, they're still they're both still the front runners for the MVP.
I'm more surprised at Judge's defense, more so over batting. He's normally known for his. Yeah, and I agree with you, Magnus. That fifth inning, I seriously don't know what happened, and that's what started that avalanche. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was a routine pop fly to Judge, and he botched it. Then from there, it went to a play over at third where Volpe just grabbed it and tried to play hot potato with it, forced Jazz off the base, and that was it. It was a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
And it still hurts the soul just really thinking about it, you know. But I mean, overall, though, I mean, on the good side of it, like you said, though, Freddie Freeman, he's done what really nobody has done. 4 home runs in 4 consecutive games. His first home run mimicking Kirk Gibson, his walk off in the World
Yeah.
Series. And just to give everybody a quick perspective on the collectability of all these players that we're going to be talking about, okay?
Yeah.
Here is what we got for Freddie Freeman.
I'll be right back, Fuego.
Okay. So if we look at it, green is good for the most part. You know, his 2011 Topps Chrome has gone up over 1,300%. His lowest for this particular car was about $19, and it has sold for as high as 612, where the most recent sale has gone for $300 on the first. Okay. But yeah. So I personally believe this is going to be a short-lived moment for Freddie, unless he takes the performance that he's given during the World Series and carries it over to the regular season. So I mean, what you think, Mike? You think this is going to be short-lived, or hopefully it stays the same, maybe improve if he remains hot into the new
Well,
season?
if you look at the percentage that has changed, 2,852%, 1,348%. Is it going to stay? No, it will go down. But I didn't realize how old Freddie Freeman was until we did the pre-show. And yeah, how old is he?
He is 35.
35. I didn't realize. I thought he was like 32, 31, something like that. I didn't realize he was around that long. I'd say it's about time, because he's always been one of those good players that just don't get the hobby love. Freddie Freeman, J Ram, they just don't get the love. They've been consistent their entire career, and they don't get the love. Was it because he went to LA? He's on a bigger stage. More people are starting to recognize him than not being in Atlanta. But I think his time has come. Let's see, the average price of card sales. Wow. If you just look at the average all days and the high and the low,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the card went from, last sale, $312. I'm looking at the top one, the Topps Chrome.
Yep. So his
and
lowest
the low
was
price
at
was
$19.
Yeah,
And the highest was at $612.
exactly. And that's over what, 30 days?
Yeah.
Wow. So you can see how that spiked. Yeah, and cards are like a stock market. I mean, they're down, then they have a good World Series, they go up. They're going to drop. But I think his collectability went up a lot more. A lot more people are going to start looking for that rookie card, for the Topps Chrome, for the flagship card and stuff like that, just to say I have it because this is Freddie Freeman and this is what he did in the 2024 World Series. So yeah, it's going to help his collectability for
Oh yeah,
sure.
I mean, I'm sure you'll find some hardcore Dodger fans who are probably going to pick up those rookie cards of those players like Freddie, who was not a Dodger in his
Exactly.
rookie season, and just add it to
Exactly.
their collection. Yeah.
Hmm.
So now let's look at the downside of some folks. And there's really no downside with Judge. Okay. I mean, let's take his base rookie card. Started out $15, went as high as 430. Last one sold for $95.
Okay.
Okay. 378% increase change.
Now,
And then his
I'm sorry, are these stats for this is for the lifetime of the card? This is not 30 days. Because I don't
think
I don't
it's for
think
30 days.
2400 Judge cards sold in
No, this is all data.
all data. Okay. All right. That makes sense then. Okay.
So, I mean, his Chrome rookie is a difference of about $77 because the last one sold yesterday for 113. So, I mean, I, in his case, I would think, yeah, he had a crappy postseason, but that's not going to
It's not going
take
to
away
change it.
from his regular season.
Yeah. It's not
So,
going to, you know what's going to happen once he wins the MVP, everything's going to be back to normal. I don't see his cards dropping at all.
okay. And then we got Shohei, another one, had a crappy postseason for the most part. Not as crappy as Judge, but World Series series was a different story, you know. But we do see a little bit of a dip coming down over here, you know. So I mean, it's just a matter of time, kind of like you said, once they win the MVP, it'll straighten itself out.
Yeah, it's kind of if you take a look at it, you know, like that how it started to rise. See, I don't have a pointer or anything like that. How it started to rise at the beginning of the season when he was, you know, projected to win the MVP, and then it went up there, and it's like, okay, well, he's projected to win the MVP, and then it dropped a little bit. So once he wins the MVP, it's going to go back up again. All those Paw Patrol cards. Oh my gosh. I remember when Chuck pulled the first one and he put it up. He's there. I don't know how much. I don't know what it is. I don't know how much it's worth. And everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's a short print." Well, it's not the short print. It's
right.
It's a pretty common card.
And then here's one that we didn't really expect. We got Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
I mean, for somebody who's making $325 million over 13 years, it's about time he shows out.
And we were talking before the Junkies podcast about this bump for Stanton. Could the Yankees get out of this contract and move him to someone? And would somebody pick up that contract? Who's the team that would pick it up?
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is something else that we're going to talk about later on in the next few weeks with free agency and all that stuff. But
so, I mean, this would be the perfect vessel if I wanted to learn more about NASDAQ, the Dow, just the stock market in general, because this is a split image.
Oh yeah, it's exactly like a stock market. It's exactly, but it's something that I'm interested in. So I'll be able to play along with it and figure it out. But with the stock market, just in general, I have no clue.
Yeah,
no clue what's going on.
So the final discussion we're going to go ahead and bring up now is, now that Ohtani is considered a World Series champion, do you think he stepped out of the shadow and has a higher collectability rate than a Mike Trout?
I think he does. I think Trout is at the end of his career, and Otani's in the middle of his career, and Otani's got a World Series. He can pitch. He can hit. He's got the MVPs. He's going to get another one. So yeah, I don't think Trout collectability is going to go down. I think it's at a low right now. Let's wait and see what happens next year, and see if he comes back and has a resurgence. Otani, is Otani's rookie card going to be as collectible as Trout's card? I'm going to say no, and we talked about this earlier, because of the print runs of the Trout card versus the Otani card, and that Trout was that generational player in the 2010s to 2020. Will Otani be that player for 2020 to 2029? Only time will tell, but there's a lot of other players that could possibly be that player too. So I don't think Otani's rookie flagship card will ever get to the collectability of the Trout rookie card, but it's not going to decrease from where it is now. I don't believe so.
Some good points. So I do have this comparison of both players. Now, this is not their lifetime careers, okay, because you can see Trout has 2 MVPs in this chart when in reality he has 3. But I'm taking the seasons from when they both were ages 23 through 29. And as you can see, Shohei has more games, more hits, more home runs, RBIs, and everything. But with Trout, he's got a higher batting average, OPS plus. He's got 2 more All-Star appearances, 3 more Silver Sluggers. Okay, so I kind of think now Trout is descending in his collectability while Otani is rising, and at some point they're both going to end up pretty much for a little bit be on level playing ground. Okay, and then if I also had, where's it at? Nope, that's Otani. Here's Trout's cards from 2011. Okay, got his heritage, got his base rookie, his Bowman first, the Bowman first refractor, and then a parallel of his rookie. So we see it's kind of taking a little bit of a dip. But if you look at his base rookie, okay, I mean, at one point, his base rookie at a PSA 10 was 4 figures. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday, it last sold for $910. Yeah. And that's possibly because, kind of like what Mike said, Trout is on the downslope of his career. I would not be surprised if they consider moving Trout to the DH position, maybe first base, if he still wants to play the defense. You know, so I mean, it's just a wait and see.
I think I stirred up Titus a little bit.
Did you now?
Oh yeah, I woke him up. Yeah, Otani's rookie I think will be higher than Trout. Well, you said he before that. Otani will triple compared to Trout. You know what, Titus? It really comes down to the print runs too, and you know that really figures into the collectability of the card.
And I think Titus is just being biased because
Titus is being Titus, and that's awesome. So.
Okay, I'm glad he's in the chat. Don't get me wrong. I think Otani is a good player, but I never thought I'd see the day that a DH would be so over and win the MVP for doing nothing but hit. Well, I mean, Chuck, look at David Ortiz. All he did at the tail end of his career, excuse me, was a hit. Damn.
I'll get that out of your throat. I'll take over from here.
I mean, it's like now people are paying more attention to the DH position. So it's just like, I mean, there you go. Frank Thomas was a DH. He a Hall of Famer right now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
now that it's in both leagues, I think it's. I remember when Edgar Martinez was inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was the first DH, and everybody was screaming. All he did was hit. He didn't field or anything like that. But I think now that it's in both leagues, it's a little bit more, I don't know, everyday kind of thing. So I think you're going to see the DHs, up there for the MVP. And Chuck, great point. I agree with you 100%. He doesn't play the field. So, but it kind of is what it is. I mean, to win the MVP, I don't think they're really looking at fielding. I think they're looking at what their batting average, their home runs is always a big factor in that,
right.
For the MVP. It's always been like that. Unfortunately, I think that there's many other things that should be considered into it. It's like, honestly, I don't think Aaron Judge is the MVP in the American League. I honestly think if I was casting a vote, I would cast my vote for Bobby Witt.
Really?
Because he's all over the place with everything. I mean, triples, doubles, stolen bases, home runs. I mean, he's got it all. He has it all. That's where my vote would go. I know.
You do realize that
I'm going to piss this guy off, but
no, not even piss me off. But Judge placed first for home runs and RBIs and OPS. The only thing Bobby outdid Judge on was batting average. I think he had a 322 batting average to Judge's 310, I think it was.
Okay, and you're thinking that the way the voters are thinking, you're looking at the top categories. You're not looking at all the other things. You're not looking at triples and stolen bases and stuff like that. OPS and stuff like that. Judge probably had a higher OPS, higher slugging percentage and stuff, in those categories. I don't have everything up in front of me, but if you want to pull up a graph, I mean, there's definitely an argument. There's definitely an argument there. But I think that the voters are so laser focused on batting average, home runs, RBIs, runs scored, and boom, and that's it. Not even runs scored, just the top three: home runs, batting average, and RBIs.
Mike, don't threaten me with a good time.
Let's go. Let's have a good time.
This is just this season.
That's all we're looking at.
Yes. So, okay, Bobby's got more hits.
Okay.
More stolen bases. He's got a higher batting average. That's it.
Okay. Now, let's break down into the other categories. Let's look at triples, doubles.
Okay, so
Stanton probably has more walks.
So Judge has 36 doubles to Bobby's 45.
Okay.
1 triple to Bobby's 11.
Okay.
Stolen bases. How many 6'7" people that have speed like Bobby?
Paul Bunyan.
Okay. Touche. Judge has a higher strikeout rate. And I mean, that's really it.
Yeah.
Bobby's got more overall hits, but if you break it down by doubles and triples, yeah, Bobby got him beat.
Yeah.
You know, but look at the offensive WAR, 11.7 to 9.2.
Okay. And what was
Okay,
the overall WAR?
9.4 to 10.8.
Okay, so there you're showing that Bobby gained a couple of decimal points in defensive WAR, where Judge lost in defensive WAR
Yeah,
a little bit. So Judge's numbers are being carried by his offense, and Bobby is pretty much actually his defensive WAR pulled up his offensive WAR a little bit.
right.
So I don't know. It's a good conversation. I'm just thinking. I know Judge is going to win,
Mm-hmm.
but if I were personally voting, I would personally vote for Bobby.
Okay,
And that's all I'm saying.
and that's and I mean, you know, that's your opinion.
Yep.
You know, I mean, if we went traditionally, Judge has it hands down.
Mm-hmm.
But due to now that we are in the Statcast era, where you
There's
know
a
they
lot of
take
stats.
they take into consideration your credit
Yeah.
score, your social security number. You know, Bobby may pull away with a surprise win for MVP. We don't know.
We don't know. We
So,
don't know.
but yeah, so that's what we're looking at for collectability after the World Series. Next week, we'll probably start looking at potential candidates for these prestigious awards, your MVPs,
Mm-hmm.
your
Yeah.
Cy Youngs. Oh, but I did want to make one point though, going back a little bit with Ohtani. So we was focusing on the fact that Ohtani is winning MVP for the National League because of being a DH. All right, his collectability went up a little bit. Now, next season, Ohtani is expected to be pitching. Will his collectability be taken to a different level if he wins the Cy Young?
No, yeah. I mean, who else has won the well? Who else is I was going to say who else has won the Cy Young and the MVP? It's been done before, but won the MVP for batting and the Cy Young for pitching.
Right.
That has never been done before, and if I was the Dodgers management and was paying that kind of money, I would say no, you're not pitching. You might get a spot start every now and then or something like that, but I know, and I know the contract is because he was brought on as a pitcher and a hitter,
right? But he did go
gets
through
hurt when he
Tommy
pitches.
John.
Yeah, but he gets hurt. He gets hurt when he pitches.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, he got hurt when he was hitting too.
Yeah. Yeah, if a Dodger pitcher can actually stay off the IL, you got that right, Lockin.
Yeah, but I think all their top pitchers did not pitch, minus Walker Buehler. You know, Kershaw didn't pitch, Dustin May. So I mean, and they get a ring. Sadly.
Yeah. So anybody that's looking at my predictions for the World Series, I didn't even think the Dodgers would get past the Padres. I said because the Dodgers have no pitching, and then they ran off like 21 straight innings with no runs. So
well, they do have the best bullpen in all of baseball.
They certainly do. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's basically gonna be it for tonight. Make sure you tune in to Mike's channel tomorrow, and I'll let him speak more about it. But we're in the process of doing a celebration of life of Steve Marquez. In case you're wondering why we need to go to Mike's channel, who the hell is Mike anyway? But Mike, go ahead and let everybody know what we got going on.
Yes, this guy. So tomorrow, with the continuation of the celebration of life for Steve Marquez, we're going to do some auctions and sales, probably just more like sales. Rocky couldn't make it last weekend, so I wanted to give him some time. So Rocky from Rad Dad and Where Speed Dog is going to be on with myself, Maddie, and Sean is actually going to jump on tomorrow. Also, we're going to do some sales. We also have the raffles that we're still looking to fill up a little bit more of that, and then. Next Saturday, I'm going to do another show. It's going to be the finale. Lawkin has sent me a box of all kinds of goodies in here, which I think I'm just going to do a raffle on this. I've seen what's in here. There's a lot of good stuff. Dom's mystery pack. It's not a pack. It's a box. It came in like this huge box. And he's got that's actually going to be here.
I need some socks too.
Yeah, there's socks. And then next Saturday, I think that's when I'm going to do the Stadium Club break. So I'm going to do the Stadium Club break, which is it's not going to be part of the fundraiser for Shayla, but it's just going to be another break. And then after the break. Or during the break and before the break, all that stuff. We're going to keep selling spots for the raffles and the razzes and stuff like that. So join me tomorrow at 1:30, 2 o'clock. And then the following Saturday, we're going to do pretty much an all-dayer, kind of like we did last week. And sell the rest of the raffle spots off and do a break, and then we're going to do all the raffles at the end of the day.
Awesome! So, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And what time that kicks off tomorrow?
Tomorrow I have it scheduled for 1:30. I'm going to put it on the Discord. Actually, maybe I should just pop the link in here while I'm here. I mean, why not? If I can find it as quickly as I possibly
get some of our newer members involved.
Yeah. So absolutely. Okay. Yeah. So here's the link for tomorrow. Now I got to go back onto your channel again. Oh, this is fun. So I'll figure it out. Maybe I should have had the link already ready. Okay. There we go.
And if y'all haven't noticed, Mike's figured out the snafu with his Chrome too.
Oh yeah, I figured that out. Apparently something was using my camera, which I'm not happy about. So I have to go in every time and just delete my history. And they said it's something with Skype or Zoom. Well, I don't have Skype and I don't have Zoom on my computer, so maybe there's some kind of malware or something like that that's on there.
So I pinned the I pinned the link that Mike just put in the chat at the top of the chat. So for everybody who is actually new, it was their first time in the podcast chat, make sure if you have nothing to do and you want to get in on some of the festivities, you want to go ahead and tune into that click on that link that Mike provided, hit the notify me button so that when we do go live, you'll get notified of it and you'll get to participate.
Yeah.
As far as what I got going on, I have a PSA order coming back from California on Tuesday. So I'll be doing a video on that. And I don't know what the grades are, so we're all going to be surprised together. Okay, so other than that, I appreciate everybody coming in. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Check out Mike's channel also. Everybody has a blue wrench, so after the live stream, just go ahead and click off on the 3 buttons next to that individual's name. Go ahead and give them a follow. They will follow you back, and that's how we make the community grow. All right.
There's
so
Dom working on a second mystery box. Here we go. Let's go.
All right. So with all that being said and done, it's been fun and it's been real. So we'll catch everybody on the next one.
Thank you all. Have a great night. Hope to see you tomorrow.
Yep.